What's going on YouTube? 50 Cheddar Bob back with another video. Today we're going to be looking at a BGS mail return. It's a BGS Mailday. Me and my brother sent off some cards to BGS a while ago now. I've had these sitting here for over a week just waiting to kind of do a video on the return and kind of what to do if you've never done a BGS submission. First things first, I guess, prepping the cards. I'm not going to kind of get into that too much. Just make sure they're clean the surface. You can use a microfiber towel or cloth, I suppose, to clean the cards. That's probably your best bet. And then it's really going to be an eye test as far as seeing if there's any type of surface imperfections or damage or scratches or anything like that to the surface. So that's going to be entirely up to you. Other than that, I can't really help you with checking over the surface. But the other thing most people ask is kind of the price point. So on their website, on Beckett's website, if you do this by yourself, if you decide to send in a card by yourself, it's going to be pretty pricey, okay? And so for 1 to 50 cards, a 30-day return, which is the longest return, it's $25 a card, and that's without shipping and insurance costs. So you're looking, I don't know, it's got to be $35+ as far as doing it yourself, sending in a card yourself. I bet you it's even more than that too. I didn't even calculate the shipping and all that kind of stuff. So a 2-day turnaround is $50 a card for that 1 to 50 cards if you're gonna do it by yourself. So, and that's again without shipping costs. So your best bet is to find a group that is sending in cards, because they give discounts out for larger submissions, because obviously that saves them time and all that kind of stuff. So that is your best bet. They're out there. If you look, I don't know, maybe one of your break groups does a BGS submission. So that is my first advice to you, is kind of find a group that is sending them in and pay that way. I want to say that me and my brother, I think we did like $28 a card or something like that after shipping and insurance and all that kind of stuff, which is excellent when it comes to this. So I was very happy with that. So let's take a look at what I got here. I sent in 5 cards. My brother sent in 2. He sent in those Baker Mayfields. Both came back 9, 5, 10. I want to take partial credit for that. We both found surface imperfections. There was minor imperfections with his Bakers, and I said send them in anyways. The rest of the card is so clean that there is no way this thing gets below a 9.5, and both of them got 9.5. So the first card is this 101 Christian Kirk out of Obsidian, and I knew it was going to come back a 9, a mid-9. I just wanted it in a case, and that is what I got. So I was like, you know what, this is going to come back a 9. I'm going to send it in anyways. Who knows, maybe I'll get lucky, but that is exactly what it came back. 9.5 on the surface. Everything else is 9, and the autograph is a 10. So this is a PC card. It's not going anywhere. I don't really care. I know some people have different opinions as far as the 101, getting a 101 graded. This one was pretty obvious, and I'm going to kind of talk about this. Let me grab my PC87 pen so I can point this out. This one was pretty obvious where they were measuring from as far as the centering. You can tell, I mean, these lines, there's more meat here on these lines than there are from these lines. Just looking at it, you can tell. You don't even have to measure this card, and you can tell that it's already a little bit off-centered. Not too bad, but centering got a 9. So here we are. So it's kind of interesting. I did a little bit of research as far as what they look for and how they do it. And for the edges, that was kind of the most interesting part to me, because I was like, how do they check the edges of a card unless there's something really apparent and obvious? And I'm going to grab a different card here so I can kind of explain it. I guess part of it, DK Metcalf is going to help us out. I guess part of it is they actually kind of feel the card up and down and feel for any type of imperfections, and cuts to the card. And I thought that was kind of interesting, and I can see where that comes into play with a thicker card, because there might be a tiny, I guess, bump or, I don't know, gouge. I'm sure they have names for the different types of imperfections for the card, but I can see where that could come into play with a thicker card, where you might not spot it just looking at it. So when you do check your cards prior to sending them in, kind of do that. That's really the best advice on that I can give to you, because I'm not exactly sure what they're looking for. I would love to sit down with somebody that had done this or does this and see exactly what they're looking for. And I'm sure it'd be interesting to see if they could spill all their secrets or not. I just don't know. So anyways, I'm going to have a takeaway at the end of this video after you see all these cards, but I'll let you know here in a minute. Second card I sent in was this Josh Rosen out of Prism. And this one was kind of nothing I could do about it. It had an 8-5 centering, and here's what my second point is. I have no idea where they would measure the centering on this card, because it's kind of a unique card. And I'm sure they get enough Prism where they have a Prism is probably one of the easiest ones for them to measure, because they get so much of it that they know exactly what they're looking for when it comes to the Prism. But I was kind of looking it over. I'm like, I have no idea where they might measure it from. So you got this framer on the outside. So I'm wondering if they just measure from this part to this frame here, this part to this frame here, or maybe from the inside part of the picture of the card to the outside of the frame, or something like that. And then I was trying to figure out where they go top to bottom here too, and I wasn't sure. It's also possible that they take something, a measuring point on the back as well. So keep that in mind when you're looking for something. Some of the cards, it's pretty obvious as far as where they're measuring from. So kind of check that out. If you do find one where it's like, well, this card is, it's pretty obvious that they're measuring from this point to this point. Prism is probably obvious. I'm just missing it as far as where they might measure from. So anyways, nothing I can do about that card. I got 8-5 on the centering. Whatever, I'm fine with the 9-10 on that one. This is the only card I was actually very disappointed in, and you'll see here in a second. This is Josh Rosen out of Contenders Optic, the red, and that got 10 centering, 9-5 edges, 9 on the corners, and 9-5 surface for 9-5. And the autograph got a 9, and that absolutely killed me, because the autograph looks pretty dang good to me, and I just don't see it. I'm guessing it's the little tiny bit of streakiness on the R. I'm guessing, but man, I've seen some worse autographs get 10s. So this one was kind of disappointing to me, and there's really nothing I can do about it because of, they graded it a 9 autograph. I can dispute it if I want to, and that's not going to go anywhere. They're going to tell me to resubmit it. So there's really nothing I can do about it. But here, this one's got a 10 on the centering. And this one is it's got to be. I mean, this one seems so obvious as far as where they measure it from. It's got to be from the frame here to the side on both sides, and then top to bottom, or top to bottom over here too. So they should be able to tell that the thing is centered by measuring those 3 points there. And again, I got a 10 centering, so this one's absolutely perfect on the centering. So very nice card. Still happy with it. Just a little disappointed that the autograph is what's holding it back from 9, 5, 10. So I sent in 2 other cards, and these were the 2 that I sent in with 100% confidence. I said, you know what? If I was going to only send in 2 cards, these are the 2. I wanted to send in the other 3 just to see what would happen. Again, with the 101 Kirk, I knew it was coming back at 9. It was just one of those things where I wanted it in a nice case like that. And then the other 2, I thought the Contender Optic was going to come back 9, 5, 10, but whatever. So the first one is going to be this Prism Disco Super Short Print Christian Kirk, which came back 9, 5, 10, nothing but 9 5s. So that is I believe they call it like a true gem mint, because every grade is a 9, 5 or above. There's also like a gem mint plus, where if everything's a 9, 5 and one of them's a 10. And then there's like a gem mint plus plus or something, where if you got 2 of them that are 10s and 2 9 5s, that's where it's at. So again, this one came back 9 5 10. So with this card, it was interesting too. It had a bow in the card. Let's see if I can kind of, I don't know if I have a card over here I really want to kind of bow. Yeah, I don't have anything sitting here, but here, got this nice Prism Redemption. So it was bowed like this, and it was pretty obvious. And you can even, looking at it in person, you can tell. You guys probably can't tell on the camera. and I was just curious to see if they counted that, if they were going to downgrade for that, and they did not. So I'm very happy to see that, because you know how some of the cards, especially in Prism, come out of the pack bowed like that. There's really nothing you can do about it. But once you get it into a top loader, or I guess into a nice slab here, it's not very obvious. So it turned out nice. So I was very happy with that one. And the final thing here, my final card was this Giannis beast here. Terrible timing on this after they get kicked out of the playoffs, but either way, they'll be back. And this was a Gem Mint 9.5/10, and that's their Gem Mint Plus again, is what I believe, because everything's a 9.5 and the centering was a 10. So I kind of looked at it after I got this one back to kind of see where they would measure the centering, and I don't really see anything on the front per se. And I was thinking the back maybe from this banner here to the edge on both sides. But again, I don't know, to be 100% honest with you. I have no idea. Maybe the top to bottom is that. I don't know. Could be that as far as what they're looking for. Yeah, that could be. They could measure from top to bottom here and here, and those should be, I guess, the same distance away, I suppose, if the card is centered. So my last kind of thing to tell you guys is go with your gut on this kind of stuff. I knew those two were going to come back 9.5/10. I just had a good feeling about that. I also had a good feeling about the Contender's Optic, and I obviously was disappointed in the autograph. But for the most part, if there's any type of issue where you feel like kind of on the edge about it, just kind of go with your gut as far as you're feeling. And there's really nothing you can do about it, because different people are going to be grading the cards, and different people may feel differently about stuff that they don't have a template on as far as the autograph goes, or what have you. So and one more point here, so this is kind of interesting. You look at something like this, and you would think that they just take the average of the subgrades and give it that final grade there. And they actually do not do that. They have a certain formula that they follow in order to give it that final grade. So let's say this thing had 9.5s all around, except the centering was like a 6. Okay, so I had 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, and then 6 on the centering. They can only do they usually do a half point to a point above your lowest grade. And the website even says rarely, if ever, would they do 2 points above the lowest grade. So let's say that had a 6 centering, and again 9.5s all around. You'd think, well, that'll average out to what? I'm not even going to do the math, but like an 8.5 or 8 or whatever. But no, in fact, you're probably looking at either a 6.5 or a 7. So keep that in mind too. If you have one glaring issue with the card, you may be better off sending it into PSA, or not getting it graded at all, or getting it graded just as authentic through BGS. So check out their website. They have a lot of cool information too. I think one thing they do that's kind of neat is you can send in a card and only have it slabbed if it meets a certain grade, whatever you want it to be. You can say, I only want this card graded if it is a 9.5. If it's a Gem Mint, that's the only way I want it graded. And if it's not, they'll send it back, and they only charge you partially for it, I suppose. So a little bit cheaper to do it that way. Obviously, you get nothing out of it if that's the case, other than knowing that, hey, this card's not going to be Gem Mint. So some people that have 101s may consider doing that, I suppose. But again, my 101 I got slabbed was because I knew it was going to be PC. So that's about it, guys. Like I said, check out their website for more information. It's kind of interesting to look through it and dig into it. I may do a video on a PSA return if I decide to send some stuff into PSA and see how that goes. It's pretty interesting stuff, this whole grading cards thing. I have other graded cards. I've just never got around to sending any in myself, and now I have, and I got the return, and I'm very happy with what I got here, especially that Giannis. The thing is beastie. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be back with another video soon, and as always, Cheddar Bob saying, take it cheesy.